And France 24's James André is at the Élysée Palace reporting on this visit by the new German Chancellor. James, this was a fairly routine visit, but an important one nonetheless.
Absolutely, fairly routine visit because it is the tradition at this stage that a new German Chancellor should make his first state visit to neighboring France. And actually, Friedrich Merz did stress the fact that this was, in his view, a good tradition. He will be moving on to Poland afterwards. But it was an interesting visit because it was the first opportunity for both men, who already met twice before Friedrich Merz became the Chancellor, basically to lay out their strategy, to explain their goals. And what we saw today was both men basically stating common goals such as boosting Europe's productivity, also boosting its defense, working together closely, achieving a free capital market when it comes to the money that people have in their bank accounts, but also showing what the differences were in the way to achieve these goals. For example, Friedrich Merz stressed the fact that he was in favor of the Mercosur Accord with the EU, which is something Emmanuel Macron is much more reserved about. There are other differences as well when it comes to, for example, military spending. Friedrich Merz did stress the fact that he was in favor of some control when it comes to budget, saying that indeed he could accept for any money above 1% of GDP spent on defense to be not counted in the Stability Pact. For Emmanuel Macron, we're hoping for something more broad when it comes to military spending. But what we have seen is basically France and Germany together trying to jumpstart this relation to show unity, and that unity will be embodied with a minister council that will be held, a joint ministry council between the French cabinet meeting, between the French and the German, which is due to take place very soon in weeks to come.
And one of those topics that was high on the agenda today was Ukraine.
Absolutely, Ukraine, where both men explained that they wanted Europe to carry on backing Ukraine in its struggle against Russia. But Friedrich Merz, there again, having a slightly different position to that of Emmanuel Macron. Emmanuel Macron, who has been a staunch defender of boosting military spending here in Europe, of strategic autonomy for Europe, and defending the fact that, in his view, Europe could indeed needed to guarantee its own defense and to be sovereign when it comes to his defense. Friedrich Merz, on his behalf, has been explaining that for him, Europe cannot substitute to the United States, that there could only be a robust security infrastructure for Ukraine if the US was on board, and saying that indeed, in his view, European countries needed to align in order to take part in this new security infrastructure under US leadership. So there again, slight differences, but a common goal, and that is to indeed shore up security for Ukraine, with Friedrich Merz saying that for him there could be a Russian decision within days, and Emmanuel Macron stressing the fact that for him this needed to be a firm commitment without which nothing could be achieved.
Thank you very much for that, James André at the Élysée Palace.